Hello there, I'm in part 2, and in part 2 I was speaking about the law of diminishing marginal returns and how it applies also within the spiritual context, and I'm going to continue to explain that further. I was speaking about how it's not worth it to do witchcraft, and I taped it at the end about a story of a former colleague that I used to have a crush on that ended up putting a whole bunch of witchcraft on me, and the Lord showed me the origins of where he came from and how it is that the mighty end up falling like ridiculously. So let us move on from there. So this guy, if at all you are from a Christian household, you are not going to very easily consult isangoma by just asking someone on the street. You're going to be clandestine about it, kind of low-key secretive. Do you understand? I know that this is true indeed with like a couple of testimonies of ladies that I've listened to on YouTube who experimented with things like tarot cards and crystals, the occult basically, and the new age. And they spoke about how they ended up segregating themselves or isolating themselves from their families due to the things that they were practicing because they got raised in the church. And so granted their origins, they were now ashamed and so broke away from their people. Righto. This guy was of course no different, especially considering he was a very esteemed member of his church. One of those guys that are so beloved that they end up leading like youth groups and stuff in the church. Exactly. Righto. This man in his clandestine capacity somehow found out or found a sangoma, a medium, some person of a spiritist nature that is not in God, that is dabbling with dark arts, dark spirits, those that eternally condemn when you continue to follow after them and don't abandon them at the door. Okay, righto. And yes, this man, lo and behold, upon struggling to get a job for a minute, and he was a man. It's very tough for a man to not have a job. You want to go and get a wife, you want to go and, get your life together, and it's very difficult to get respected as a man when you don't have some zaga. So they get put under a lot of pressure to hustle, amadoda, when they are in dire straits, more so than women. Like, we can take poverty much better than men because they're expected to provide, and so a lot of underestimation can slap a man when he doesn't have a means to, make ends meet. So this guy, out of his severe desperation, no matter how much people were telling him, pray, fast, will help you, will contribute to your concern until you come right again. He did not like those handouts. He wanted to be independent again, having lost umsebenzi, and he consulted as a result. That I highlighted the fact that in his manhood he struggled with not being able to provide, that you might understand some of the motivations behind why people end up going so out of their character and their like immediate space that they're comfortable with. What motivates them to go there? And with this man, it was about, I'm a man and I can't not be employed. You know what I mean? So here it is that he is consulting now with a sangoma that he found via very clandestine means, and then he got the job immediately after consulting Nesangoma Lena. Within a matter of weeks, he was already sitting in a chair that was empty in a corporate, and he not only got a job, but he got one that was far better than what he anticipated, than what his experience in his curriculum vitae basically would earn him. He got a jolt, a boost, like a little bit of a jack in the box springing out all of a sudden into some environment that he did not expect. And this was Satan's shiny little toy that he dangled in front of him. Now, one thing you must understand about the devil is that he's not gonna bring into your ecosystem something you're unattracted to. He is the father of deceptions and of lies, okay? And so he will dangle in front of you that which masquerades indeed itself as an angel of light. The devil is going to bring whatever is shiny, ornate, ostentatious, bling-blingy, basically, that titivates your particular taste buds. Whatever might be an aroma, a sweet fragrance in your particular nostrils, he will whiff it up you. You know what I mean? That you might gravitate towards it. And especially if you are a Christian or a person that professes Christianity, that wants Jesus, you want to be serious with the Lord type establishment thing, he will give you that which you have always wanted, right? However, only God is a good and perfect provider. Every good and perfect gift is from above and from the Father of heavenly lights, and so therefore it will come with some things it will come with a little bit of a couple of hairs out of place. You know what I mean? It will not be entirely a perfect gift from above, but it will be better than what you come from. So that's where compromise commences. That's where the stealthy little worm of Ngizo downsizer comes in. So you find yourself now working in a particular environment, and how it is that you acquired, or how it is that you have to get that job or keep that job, is indeed through that same sorcery, or you have to be quite the grand saboteur. On top of that, if you get something that you have not worked for, you will always have some insecurity as to how good you actually are at it. And so there will be this welling up envy inside of you over colleagues that did not hurt themselves with sorcery in order to get this thing. You're going to find yourself in the presence of people that genuinely worked hard to get to where they are at. Plus, the devil has to take from somewhere. Only God provides ex nihilo. So ex nihilo means to provide something out of nothing, or to make it, create it out of nothing. Adam was made ex nihilo. We, however, were created. He's a son of God. Adam is a son of God, just like the angels are sons of God. Do you understand what I'm saying? Directly. Whereas Eve was fashioned out of the rib of Adam. We, who were born through a process of procreation, are sons of man, and we get adopted as sons of God at redemption when we get born again. So we have been created ex nihilo, whereas Eve was not created ex nihilo. She was created using something, the rib of Adam. And we also, who live and thrive, currently having been born from our mamas, are created not ex nihilo, because the conception, the process that the Lord set apart in order biologically for us to get made is through procreation, zygote making, man and woman laid down together and they make a baby, coitus. Exactly. So since the Lord is the be all and end all of beginning, creator of everything, he's the only one that can grab absolutely $0 naught ash and just make something out of it. For he is the be all and end all of creator. He is the beginning of everything and the end of everything too. The devil is a creation in and of himself. And if in and of yourself you are a creation, you have a beginning, you have a commencement date. You therefore cannot create anything ex nihilo. You cannot produce anything ex nihilo. What law is it in physics that speaks about matter? Basically, energy never really truly dies or dissipates or is non-existent. It gets converted into another form, in the same way that the water that is in your glass that you have put outside in the scorching heat, when then you come back at the end of the day and it's not there anymore, it's not that the water is not there, it has evaporated, it has taken on another form. It is no longer liquid, it has become a gas and transpired into the air, and is somewhere. It exists somewhere in this universe. It is not gone. And that's why people who believe that, who don't believe in anything that happens at all after we die, just basic science makes it clear that it is impossible for nothing or for our souls to just die, to be annihilated. That doctrine is called annihilationism, where it is that it is believed that we die and nothing happens. We don't go to heaven, we don't go to hell. It just kind of ends. It's scientifically impossible, because all this energy that makes us move left to right gotta go somewhere. It gotta go somewhere. The soul, it is written in the Lord's word in the book of Ecclesiastes that it is a mystery for babies to be, it is a mystery, not so much the procreation process that brings a baby into a tummy, but how the baby actually ends up a living soul. That's a mystery. Adam was a pile of meat on the floor, and then God breathed into him and he became a living soul. That breath of God into Adam is what is the evidence of creationism, of an originator. Let's go into part 3.